All right. Should we have sound now? Do we have sound now? Check, check. We got enough sound. That's the question. Can y'all hear me? Hello. I think we got it. You guys sound good? You hear the sound well, is what I was. Yeah, okay. Cool. Greetings. Welcome back to Blackbird News, where everything is connected. How are y'all doing? We're live on Rockfin, Kevin Shanholzer, Osama. What's up? Got extra bullet over here on YouTube. Got some folks kind of coming in to call in. Live on Twitter. That's interesting. That was interesting. Netanyahu says he's going to come to liberate Africa after he's done with the Palestinians. What is this? Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought Putin was Hitler. Or Putler, as the really like clever people like to call him. Like, that was a good one, Putler. Huh? What did I see? Somebody was saying, "Oh, there was a bid for those stupid Trump shoes. Like the high bid was like $9,000. Somebody bought them, and somebody posted like on Twitter. The guy that bought them was a Russian, some Russian bankster or whatever. Somebody reposted that like, see, got him. What? 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 I mean, anybody can bet on these shoes. See, it was a Russian guy that won the bid. See, what? See what? What do you see? I don't understand. I guess they're made in America for Americans, but a Russian bought them. But I don't know. I guess I didn't really get that one. Man, so much happening. There's Assange. There's a hearing regarding Assange's appeal going on today. Or it's been going on. And Navalny, Navalny happened, a couple days ago. Navalny dying of sudden death syndrome out in the exercise yard. But, lots of theories rolling around that one. Obviously, Navalny is not, we talked about Navalny, but widely known as a, not necessarily just a freedom fighter, just out there, just fighting the good fight, just all on his own, with no backing from the CIA, right? And he's also not a nice, he also has or had, a tendency to kind of get in with those neo-Nazi fascist type, right? Like the Azov battalion kind of mentality. Where have we seen this before in the world? When we don't like somebody who's in power, we find, the worst of the worst, usually people that have, the Azov battalion type mentality. And we sick them on the people we don't like. and then we call the people we don't like, Nazi or fascist or totalitarian or right. We were calling Assad, a terrible, horrible totalitarian leader who did terrible things to his people. So so there was a little group called ISIS. Or Al Qaeda or whoever, the moderate rebels. And then there was ISIS, right? We actually were kind of behind both of them. Not kind of, we were behind both of them. So Navalny seems to be cut from the same cloth, right? Did you guys? I didn't even know that Gonzalo Lira passed. Did y'all know that Gonzalo Lira? Who I kind of had. I took to task some. I liked Gonzalo Lira's reporting on war situation. What was it going on? I don't know how much of the show Chad Miano says death is usually sudden. You are alive, and the next moment you are dead. Sudden death syndrome. Yeah, sudden death syndrome is just hilarious, but also an adequate why can't I speak today? An adequate description of what happens when you take a particular medical intervention that hasn't been tested thoroughly, and then you suddenly have this onset of symptoms, and then you get what's generally known as sudden death syndrome, or it's called by other things. Anyways, Gonzalo Lira. What's going on? I can't stay glued to the Twitter feed all day long and find out all the news. There's so much happening, but Gonzalo Lira dies in a Ukrainian prison. Do you remember that he got out? Man, my condolences to his family, and I'm very very saddened to hear this, because Gonzalo Lira was a reporter, was a journalist, was a doing God's work out there. I didn't agree with all of his takes on things. I actually got into it with him a little bit on Twitter, but just because I disagree with him on certain subjects doesn't necessarily mean. I found most of his reporting to be authentic and high-minded, and he was, interested in the truth. And he was arrested by Ukrainian authorities. And he is a, now a victim of, a victim of war, and he was on Ukraine. They have a kill list. They have a list of people that they would like to do away with or arrest or do whatever. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stay on YouTube today, guys. I said that already. Because everything that I'm talking about is going to be, pretty much everything I'm talking about today is going to be pretty slightly touchy, but who knows? I mean, I could say something about climate change today. I don't know that climate change is going to be a focus today. because we have a lot of political things going on in the world that I would like to talk about. Um, had no idea that he had passed. Gonzalo Lira, a 55-year-old Chilean American who was imprisoned in Ukraine after allegedly spreading Russian propaganda. I mean, you got it. The verbiage in this article is just, really precious, just very choice. He was spreading Russian propaganda, then violating his bail conditions. He's died in a Ukrainian jail. Posting on X, formerly Twitter, conservative social media personality Tucker Carlson said he had been informed of the death by Lira's father. Speaking to Newsweek, a State Department official confirmed the death of a U.S. citizen in Ukraine and offered their sincerest condolences to the family for their loss. The cause of Lira's death has not been confirmed. Lira was formerly a pickup artist who posted videos to YouTube under the name Coach Red Pill. He was living in Kharkiv when the Russian military launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Lira gained a following by posting content online hostile to the Ukrainian government and its president, Vladimir Zelensky. Lira baselessly. This is it's true when they have to say things like baseless and conspiracy theorists, or right when you know that they're about to tell you something real here. Lira baselessly branded Ukraine's leader a cokehead and described the Russian operation as one of the most brilliant invasions in military history. Lira was arrested by Ukraine's internal security agency, the SBU, on May 1st after being released on bail. Lira released a video saying he was going to try to leave the country, and I saw that video before being rearrested for allegedly breaching his bail conditions. Yeah, I saw him. He was like, I'm out of jail, and I'm going to try and get out of here. Speaking about Lira's arrest, the Ukrainian government Center for Strategic Communication and Information Security, known as Spravdi, said the YouTube poster had been charged with justifying Russian aggression against Ukraine in violation of Article 4632 of the country's criminal code. And I guess, well, he just had a sudden death syndrome as well, I think. Man, you got to be careful out here doing the journalism. How long has Assange been basically confined? Well, he's been in jail for several years. Before that, he was confined to the Ecuadorian embassy. For putting stuff out there the people in charge don't want you to know about, basically. Yeah, we are getting a lot of weather. Somebody's asking me about the weather here. Yeah. There is we've had here, I'm going to say about 36 hours straight of rain. And it's supposed to start again at 10 a.m. and continue until early tomorrow morning. So we got another good, and it's 95%. So that's pretty much 100% going rain all day today and pretty much all night. But we had a ton of rain already in the last 2 days. Getting those atmospheric storms a rolling. It's just the new weather here. Anyways, Julian Assange faces ruling on final appeal against U.S. extradition. Lawyers for Julian Assange on Tuesday launched their final appeal to a UK court against plans for WikiLeaks founder to be extradited to the USO, appealing imminent extradition of a person who is not a U.S. citizen to the U.S. For trial. A person who is not a U.S. citizen. There was, for a moment there, it looked like the Australian government was trying to step in and say, hey, this is an Australian citizen and you are treating him as if he's a citizen. We're going to step in here and maybe try to get him back to Australia. But that didn't seem to go anywhere. And I'm sure it didn't take, it wasn't long before somebody was like, excuse me, Australia. You are under our thumb. You do our bidding. You do what we say. You don't buck. Ain't no buck for you, Australia. So I'm sure they got the memo. Yeah, we're probably going to move off of YouTube soon. Anyways, lawyers for Julian Assange on Tuesday. I've read that. Assange, who has been imprisoned in London for almost 5 years, used Wiki. How long was he in the Ecuadorian embassy prior? I feel like it was more than 5 years. So he's been holed up for quite a while. He used WikiLeaks and some. Somebody was just saying something in the chat about Andre Molodkin says he will destroy works by Picasso, Rembrandt, and Warhol if the WikiLeaks founder dies in prison. The project is called Dead Man Switch. You think that'll be effective? You think they care about art? See, Poppy Davis, 70 degrees in February. Nice. It's actually, so this storm is even warmer than the last storm. We're getting a dump of rain, but I know I'm wearing a jacket, but it's just not nearly it's like in the 50s. The last storm came through, it was kind of like in the 40s. And it never really dropped below 50 last night. So it wasn't really too bad. I mean, 50 over, it's not that big of a deal. Schulte says 7 years. 7 years at the embassy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, it's jacket weather. But it's not incredibly cold. It's not see your breath cold when you breathe. All right. Well, you know what? I feel like talking about whatever I want to talk about. I guess before we leave YouTube, Gabe sent me this. Ancient sea sponges are saying that we're actually over 1.5. If you all want to know the latest, or one of the latest. 71 degrees. Enjoy that, Poppy. Jeez, that sounds great. Ancient sea sponges at this are also scary, right? That's you're not supposed to be at 70. Um, Anyways, ancient sea sponges at the center of controversial claim world has already warmed by 1.7 C. Wow, this is in the Guardian. Wow, they're actually kind of admitting, like, well, maybe we're past 1.5. Maybe we're already at, right? There's lots of people. There's lots of claims on like what the actual temperature is. It's anywhere between 1.2 and 2.2. I'm guessing. There might be people that say it's warmer than 2.2, and I don't know. Who knows? So it depends on who you're polling, right? What scientist or what climate change specialist that you're polling, you'll get different answers of where we actually are. But this is in the Guardian saying that we're actually over 1.5. Oh, and that actually, thank you so much for confirming. I mean, it's been pretty obvious, right, everywhere that we're at 1.5. Everybody knows. Everybody's agreed. There are a few people, outside of Michael Mann and people still, really carrying the torch for the industrial civilization that are going to insist that we're not at 1.5 yet. But pretty much everybody, even the Jeff Baradellis, even the TV show climate changers are like, yeah, we're pretty much at 1.5. So the sponges are giving us different answers to how the question of how warm is it. An ancient sponge species that grows a hard skeleton has been quietly recording changes in the ocean temperature for hundreds of years. Now those sponges are at the center of a bold and controversial claim made in a leading scientific journal that, since the start of the Industrial Revolution, the planet may have warmed by 1.7 C, half a degree more than estimates used by half a degree more by the United Nations Climate Panel. What? Now I'm really confused. Several leading scientists urged caution, saying the research had overreached and questioned whether such a bold claim could be based on one sponge species from a single location. Precautionary principle, right? We can apply it here, but we can't apply it to anything else. Hey guys, I think we have some new technology. Hey guys, I think we have some new batteries. Hey guys, we need to mine some lithium. But no, hey, you know what? We might have actually screwed the Earth up beyond all repair. Oh, well, precautionary principle, please. Now we have to invoke it. Okay. Anyways, our findings. Our findings show that global warming is more advanced than we thought, and therefore it's a wake-up call. No, they're actually implementing the precautionary principle in the right direction. Thank you. Sorry, I was wrong. We have to get on with reducing CO2. Just get on with it. I love it. Just get on with it. We will experience more serious impacts from global warming sooner than we had anticipated. With the help of deep-sea divers, 6 specimens of Ceratoporella nicholsoni, a sponge that can take hundreds of years to grow between 10 centimeters and 15 centimeters, they were removed from areas off the coast of Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands. As the sponges grow, they store strontium and calcium in a ratio that relates directly to the temperature of the water around them. Extremely skeptical. So I'm sorry. The sponges showed that current warming started in 1860, so not 1950 or 1980 or 1900. Some people say 1750. the takeaway message is that we are much warmer than we thought we were compared to pre-industrial. Well, what do you know? There's another climate change. There was an adjusted rate of temperature change. Another study that came out saying that the rate of temperature change is more. You know, what have we been hearing for the last 5 years? Worse than expected, faster than expected. And of course, Professor Michael Mann, a climate scientist from the University of Pennsylvania. I'm extremely skeptical of the idea we can overrule the instrumental global surface temperature record based on paleo sponges from one region. That is stupid. For me, it doesn't even pass the smell test. Michael Mann, you are great. Mann said, well, there's some evidence that as much as 0.2 C of warming occurred in the late 19th century. What we've come to understand, the adoption of the late 19th century baseline really is implicit. So he's like, no, wrong baseline. Okay, dude. Anyway, so that, that's interesting. Oh yeah, William. I know. Yeah, yep. How key witness in Julian Assange case. All right, let's move over to Rockfin. Let's do it now. Before we do it, though, let me tell you that I enjoy bringing the show to you every day on the regular, Monday through Friday, for the low price of $3.99, and I do need your help to continue bringing the show to you. It's necessary and it's vital. You can several ways you can support the show, and many of you already do, and I appreciate that. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/BlackBearNews. You can Cash at me, Red Llama Music. You can Venmo me at Kevin Sandblum. You can PayPal.me/Kevin Sandblum. You can Kevin Sandblum at ProtonMail.com. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna move to Rockfin for a few minutes, and we're still on Twitter, and we're still on Callin. Okay, all right, YouTubers, peace.